Welcome to The Last of Us Part 1, a game I'm sure you all know very well as an emotional, post-apocalyptic masterpiece. But what if Joel was completely unfit to be a parent, and I narrated it like I'd lost my damn mind? Buckle up folks, this is The Last of Us through the eyes of an unqualified and slightly psychotic babysitter. Our journey begins as little girl Sarah, who thinks sleep is for babies, so being the absolute rebellious child that I am, I snuck out and went into my father's room to look for those forbidden toys that he always keeps hidden. But clearly, Daddy's not too happy about that, as he comes out loading his revolver, ready to take child discipline to the next level. That's when our neighbour comes running in, threatening to call social services, but Dad is having none of that and guns him down on the spot, excusing it as zombie killing. I didn't believe it at first until we arrived in the city in the middle of a zombie apocalypse. Or is this another peaceful protest gone wrong? I really couldn't tell the difference, but either way our lives were in danger, not because there were zombies running about, but because I had the grippers out, since Dad didn't bother getting me some shoes, and there are sure to be some weirdos out there fiending for my feet. So we headed to the highway as Uncle Tommy held zombies off, only to be met with the most civilized greeting of the night, which resulted in my quick death. I should have stayed in bed. Now, we're 20 years in the future and so much had changed, such as women's rights, which have progressed further than ever, as being in their mere presence without consent can warrant an instant death. Not all women are that crazy though. I've got my friend Tess here, and we're on a journey across town to meet our friend Robert, who owes us guns. And we come across some of his goons, and let's just say, it didn't end so well for them. If in doubt, pull out your weapon and just start blasting. It works like a charm, no need for de-escalation these days. But guns aren't everything, as during these 20 years, I've become a master in stealth, taking pleasure in choking out people as I enjoy watching the life drain out of their eyes. And it's also a discreet way of channeling my choking kink urges without fully exposing my freaky side. Shh, nobody needs to know. Eventually, we reached Robert, demanding he gives us our guns. However, apparently he sold them to the Fireflies. But luck is on our side, as the queen of the Fireflies, Marlene, conveniently spawns in and offers to give them back, in exchange for delivering some cargo, which turns out to be a little girl, Ellie. Of course, I left out my past work experience with children on my resume, because I needed those guns badly, and desperate times call for desperate measures. So Tess goes off with Marlene to verify the weapons, leaving me as the guardian of Ellie, also known as a disrespectful brat who's constantly bat-chatting and is unfortunately fireproof. It had been 5 minutes and I'd already grown tired of babysitting. So I decided to sleep on the job, indulging in some child neglect until Tess came back, and once she returned, I could take on the role of a deadbeat dad, sit back, relax, and let her deal with the little pest. To really sell my incompetence as a guardian, I purposefully let my guard down and got us all jumped. But things escalated in ways I couldn't imagine. Ellie was infected? Yes! Finally a chance to test out my revolver, I thought. Except she ruins the moment, revealing herself to be immune and the key to a cure. Did I believe it? Hell no. Did the idea of her slowly losing herself to the infection and transitioning into a mindless infected excite me? Hell yeah. I mean, think about it. I could just keep her on a leash and not have to worry about taking care of her or tolerate the insufferable attitude. So I decided to play along and keep her around. We were making real progress across town and soon she'd be the Fireflies' problem. However, when we arrived at our destination, they're all dead. My guess is they offed themselves once they heard about the imminent arrival of that feisty child Ellie. But who cares? Mission accomplished. It's time for me and Tess to be on our way and abandon the child. But happy endings simply don't come around often in this world, as Tess reveals herself to be bitten. The infection has progressed so far that she actually buys Ellie's make-believe immune story and begs me to deliver it to my brother Tommy, as he's a former Firefly. The guns, Tess. That's the only reason I'm doing this. The guns. Fast forward a few days and it's clear to see the impact of looking after a child. Just look at how much I've aged. Those grey hairs are really coming through. To suppress the stress and pain, I'd recently taken up pill collecting as a hobby to keep me going, although an overdose wouldn't be too shabby at this point. We are on our way to Billstown to get ourselves a car so we can get to Tommy, but let's just say Bill is a bit of a loose cannon, with booby traps all over the place because rumour has it he doesn't take too kindly to immigrants and tourists. Though when we eventually met face to face, I thought maybe he'd changed, as he saved my life after I escaped from his hanging sex dungeon trap thanks to Ellie's help. But I guess I was wrong, as the moment we're safe from trouble, he handcuffs the child and points a gun at me. You thought you'd come to your hanging trap and find a vulnerable, defenseless victim for you to touch up and torture, huh? Didn't you? No wonder he's so angry. But I managed to calm him down down, explain our situation, and now we're off to pass through a nearby school to get parts for a car. Lord, please forgive me for what I'm about to do. For the children I shall slaughter, and other young lives I'll be taking. I know what I must do. We entered the school and I channeled my inner Anakin, only to find nothing. All that preparation and prayer to condition myself, but I don't even get to kill one. All that remains are some boring clickers and runners. Even the gym bloater here is furious at the lack of children around, but for very different reasons. Wait, that's not a bloater, that's just Coach Johnson after 20 years of pure, unresolved, perverted horniness. Ellie, don't crouch, run! Wow, for the first time in 20 years, my parental instincts actually kicked in, and I put Coach down for good. Then we got the hell out of there, and surprise surprise, we even stumbled upon a working car, but it needed to be pushed to get it going. Initially Bill wanted to be the one to sit all cozy in the car whilst me and Ellie pushed, but nah, I insisted he got in at least one session of exercise for the year by pushing along with me instead. And before we knew it, we were zooming away in the whip. You know what? Life right now is great. We've got a car, on the way to see my brother for the first time in years. I can now somewhat tolerate Ellie's stupidity, and I've even de-aged by a few years, feeling renewed and recharged, which enabled me to channel my ultra instinct and sense a surprise party ahead. Welcome to Pittsburgh, I guess. What a lovely city. A place with plenty of opportunity to mess around, play fighting with friends, and even have a joke with Ellie here and there.
I walked into my sister's room and tripped on a bra. It was a booby trap.
Okay, not a fan of jokes? Well, you can just take a stay at Pittsburgh's state-of-the-art luxury hotel. It may need some minor renovation, but you won't find much better in real life, trust me. Just ignore the bits of mess. The cleaners will have that sorted in no time. Of course, me and Ellie just had to explore everything this amazing place had to offer, including the spooky art basement, which unfortunately separated us. So now I was stuck down here by myself. Oh god, that damn generator. Those who know. After making it out of that hellhole, I then fell victim to my biggest weakness. A cutscene, as that seems to be the only chance enemies have at beating me, but Ellie finds me and saves the day. However, I was in severe shock and embarrassment over how much aura I'd just lost by having a kid rescue me. So I told her off for saving my life, and out came the teenage strappy mood. Kids though, you've got to keep them happy. And my favourite way of making amends as a father is always giving the child a gun to murder people method. See? Works like a charm. And now I could give her a little gun as a reward. Any parents out there, I promise you, give this method a try on your moody teens. Anyway, we continue through the city, looking for a way out, and surprise surprise, cutscene logic kicks in again. Though this guy Henry is a rare instance of making it out alive of a fight with me, as we decide to become buddy-buddy and team up to escape the city. Henry here is a man of principle, telling off his delinquent brother Sam when he tries to steal a toy. Not exactly fighting against the stereotypes, are you, boy? And look at Ellie, aiding and abetting that thief. I should shoot you down right here, right now. It's okay though, the boy has some redeeming qualities at least, such as his sporting ability.
Larson against Onana.
Yeah, I've seen enough. Get him in goal for Man United. In fact, put all four of us in that damn team. We'd completely transform it with the power of our teamwork. There'd be no stopping us. So I proposed the idea of rebuilding Manchester United to Henry, and I'd say he had a reasonable reaction to that offer. Well, at least I've got an awesome story for the grandchildren, eh? Weeks later, me and Ellie had finally arrived at Tommy's and I was reunited with my brother. I told him that for some reason, I'm a walking curse against kids as they always seem to die around me. So I demanded he take her off my hands and deliver her to the Fireflies so I could leave for the milk without any more dead kids on my conscience. And make sure you collect my reward. I need those guns. But she isn't too happy, riding away on a horse and forcing me to chase after. The damn attitude on this girl. Don't dare talk back to me.
Is he dead? Do you think he's dead?
I've really been a shitty father, haven't I? And for once, I felt sorry for her. So despite the many cons outweighing the pros, I reluctantly took her off the adoption list and we headed to a nearby university for a lead on the Fireflies. Ugh. look at the state of this place. Are we sure this is a result of the apocalypse and not the aftermath of a Bonnie Blue university tour? And if you don't know who that disgusting creature is, well, please stay innocent. We made it to the labs and saw some cute monkeys, but no fireflies, although we do manage to find a lead learning that they're in Salt Lake City. And then my head is almost taken off, so there's our cue to leave. Absolute savages. These guys' first reaction to seeing a human is to immediately open fire. God, their recruitment must be in shambles if that's how they're gonna greet anyone they meet. And things only got worse as we have our routine cutscene ambush, though I must question what Ellie was doing as me and this guy tussled for about 1,000,000 years. But thanks Ellie, I've been impaled now, and I'd never felt so vulnerable and useless with my life, now in the hands of a child. Now I'm the little brat Ellie, and I've got to fend for myself whilst Joel's out of commission. But at least I've been taking notes, allowing me to gain immunity to cutscene ambushes. See Joel, that's how you do it. And I'm even getting you medicine in exchange for this deer. Aren't I such a great daughter? I'm getting the medicine from this friendly stranger David, who I quickly became besties with as we fended off infected together. I really felt I could trust him. Nope, like father like surrogate daughter I guess, as our cutscene ambush immunity doesn't last so long, and it turns out we've got a wannabe Hannibal Lecter here, and I'm not looking to become dinner for a whole ass community. So I play a high IQ move, showing him my bite mark, which gives me the opportunity to make a run for it. The hunt reached its climax in a restaurant, as we played a cute game of hide and seek, with the added step of brutally beating the loser of the game to death with a machete, which was a very traumatizing experience for a young girl like me. But Joel finds me, and for the first time he displayed a very convincing act of affection, as he put his hatred aside and acted like my father for once. Days later, me and Ellie finally arrived in Salt Lake City, and it was truly a full circle moment. All these trials and tribulations we'd gone through had led to this moment. Finally, it was soon to be the end of my babysitting career, and I could get those guns I'd been waiting for. We had what seemed like a farewell party in the tunnels, as every infected you could think of was present to see us off. Aw, look at them go. Things did go a bit south, resulting in me having to perform CPR on Ellie, and then I was met with a wonderful thanks by some fireflies for bringing her all the way across the country. And things only got worse from there, as I wake up to the news that Ellie's immune brain is getting evicted permanently for a bit of fun science and a cure. No consent, no goodbyes, just thanks for my delivery, now piss off and go touch grass. Hey! Worst of all, I didn't even get my guns! Yeah, no, that deal isn't working for us. Suddenly the fatherly instinct deep within me awakened, and I go full John Wick, rampaging through the hospital, killing everyone in sight. Eventually I reached the operation room, tortured this annoying doctor who I carry an unexplainable level of hate for, and I have no idea why. And then I took Ellie, deciding that a cure for humanity can die. Because plot twist, I suddenly care for this kid now. Or am I deluding myself into believing that to mask the fact that I'm really doing this because I didn't get my guns? Who knows and who even cares? These guys don't seem in any rush to catch me, so surely the cure can't be that important. We drove off into the sunset and I fed Ellie a cute little story of how the fireflies found other people like her, so she's not special at all. The kid totally bought it. In the very end, she asked me if everything I'd said was really true, and I happily lied straight to her face. Did I save Ellie because I finally cared about her, or did I just doom humanity's chance of ever finding a cure for this zombie-ridden world because I was being petty about me not getting my guns? No? I'll let you guys decide that in the comments. Thank you to everyone who watched the video. If you did enjoy, please consider liking, commenting and subscribing to stay updated on all my new videos. To all my new and current subscribers, I thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.